Changes to our syllabus. We were supposed to be meeting with CEA today, the staff from Sevilla, but they're not available until the 25th. So things are going to get changed around just a bit. And on the 25th, oops, sorry, wrong day. So next week on Thursday, we'll send out, we're going to meet in the Spark instead of in here. So we'll announce it on multiple platforms, but we will not be in this room for that class. So the other, we'll have them to be able to talk to the staff that is there, as well as we're going to have a guest speaker too. Do you want to introduce who that's going to be, Rafa?
Today?
Well, no, for Ali.
Oh yeah. So one of actually kind of weird how the world kind of connects and collides, the stars. I have a great friend that I just met this last year. He's actually from Morocco, and he's a chemical engineer student here at WSU, which is pretty cool. And so he's actually going to be in Morocco at the same time that we are, which is kind of coincidental too. But he's actually going to come in class and talk to you all a little bit about the culture, talk to you a little bit about kind of what to expect, and especially since we're going to be there during Ramadan, kind of the do's and don'ts, but also kind of to like what to culturally or mentally expect when you're already there, because he was telling me, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. You need to tell that to our students. He's like, during the day it's kind of quiet, dead, just because everyone's fasting and it's kind of really mellow. And he goes, but at night it just picks up and it's a lot different once the fast is broken. So he'll be coming in, and I'm really excited for that opportunity to you all to be able to ask him questions and talk to him as well. So just make sure that, I think like Angie was saying, it's going to be a CEA visit, and then it's also going to be a personal visit. And so those are going to be really important to make sure to be on time too. No walking in late and just being there, present, ready to go. So
yeah,
not to call out.
Yeah, is calling from across the pond here, so they're going to expect that everybody be here on time. It makes us look good if we're all on time. So I know some of you jumped ahead with homework. I don't know, say some of you have, which today. You definitely want to get this done by Wednesday evening and bring this assignment to class. So in today's thing, and I have not had a chance to move over the stuff into assignments, but you guys are figuring it out. You're going to click on this link. I tried to highlight as much as possible so you're not confused when you click that link. Like every highlighted portion is where to find it. So once you open that, it's going to go to this university, this little thing where it says link. Once you open that, then you're going to click on the English. I know y'all can speak another language, but we need to be able to read it in English, so please do it in English. And then once you do that, it's basically an assessment. It's intercultural awareness. It will print out a really nice report that we've all done as well. So all your trialing advisors, all of us staff have done it. It's a report like this. It's pretty lengthy. It goes into a lot. But next week we're going to have Kim Dela Cruz come to class, and she's going to go over this. So kind of how our intercultural values align across, different countries. What we value here versus what we're going to value, what's valued in Spain. So you can really get a better idea of that. So that is really important to have done. That's why it says that it's due by 11:30 p.m. on Wednesday, not on Thursday, and you need to bring it to class, whether you're looking at it through your laptop or bring a hard copy. But you also need to, once you get this done, either download it and then save it and upload it to Blackboard, so we have a copy of that because that is an assignment. So any questions on that for next week? Okay. It's pretty easy. All it is answering questions, how you feel. It's one of those things. Don't think too hard, just take it and answer naturally. So today, we were also going to have Kim here kind of to do some of this because Kim was the traveling advisor for Spain, and she actually has a coworker that is leaving, so she was not able to be here today. But she put together this great workbook, which we're going to work through today, somewhat in preparation for this coming Thursday. We're going to talk about the do's and don'ts of living abroad, as well as more of that intercultural awareness. Then on next week, we're going to do what's called the Code of Conduct, which everybody should be super excited about. You guys are going to come together as a cohort and come up with the rules that you guys will follow when you're in Spain. If someone gets drunk, what happens? You guys are going to come up with answers. What happens if someone's not pulling their weight in your apartment? You come up with the answers. So it's all these situations that are gonna arise when you're there, and you guys are gonna be living, you know, together with strangers, and you all need to be on the same page as to what's expected. What happens if someone doesn't show up on time to an excursion? What is the consequence? If you continually show up late to class, what is the consequence? So today's activity is going to start kind of prepping you to think about those types of things. And it can get kind of, everybody has different opinions, so it can get kind of exciting. And we just want to make sure that you guys are prepared and that you guys are in agreement. And we do have a lot of people that aren't able to be here. Specifically, what am I trying to think of? We have a Tri-City student.
Yeah, Astrid.
Astrid is not able to be here, and then we have two other gentlemen that are not able to be in the class due to their senior status and a class conflict. So you guys are going to set the stage, and hopefully they all agree with it because you are the majority. We will be letting them know what it is, and if they have anything to add in there, they can add it in, and then you all are signing the contract because it is a piece that has to be submitted to Study Abroad Office and to CEA. So everybody is on board. And we have used it before. We've used it almost every year, and we definitely used it in Rome. Some incidents came up of inappropriate language that was used on a train that was making people uncomfortable, some sexually explicit language that came up, and we had 3 offenders that it just kind of started going into this, you know, mob mentality. One person started, the next person like started chiming in, and then it just let loose, and it totally got out of control, and it made a lot of people uncomfortable. So, as your traveling advisors, we're the ones that get to call you in and say, hey, that was not appropriate, and this is what we're going to do. So, it does happen, and anything that is really outside of the standards of WSU, the codes of conduct for WSU, depending on the severity of it, you can be sent home. So that's why you all need to be on the same page as to what you guys have as expectations of each other, and we will obviously have expectations of you as well, and CEA has their own rules. But just know there are consequences to some of the behavior. You are adults, and we expect you to act like adults, but we want you to have a good time, but we also want everybody's safety in mind as well. So we have, how many people? About 5 small groups right there. So like 3 and 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Can we split up that way?
Yeah.
Because you all are kind of grouped together.
You 3, do you 3, 2, and then 3.
Perfect. All right, so you all have this booklet in front of you, and these are some of the things that will come up while you are abroad. And so going over some of the really important ones is, start talking about, does anybody know what ethnocentrism is? You want to talk about it, Matthew? Give us a kind of a definition.
Ethnocentrism is the idea that wherever you come from or your culture is superior to other people's culture, like before you even experience it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that is one of the biggest, some of the barriers that people face when they come. We faced a lot of that in the last trip to Spain. Oh, I don't like this food. Oh, I don't really like this. This isn't the way I do it. This isn't the way it is, you know, back home.
This food's so plain. I want my salt
or
and pepper.
I wouldn't ever eat this.
Yeah.
Like,
how do people eat this?
Watch your filter when you're in another country. Like, you know, that's just rude. And we are representing not only WSU, but the United States doesn't exactly have the best track record right now. So we really want to represent WSU in a good way and be really respectful of the culture when we're there. And yes, it is different. That's why you're traveling. That's why you're going abroad, is to learn a new culture and to learn what differences there are throughout the world. And just be open to it. And if you don't like it, just like your grandma or your mom taught you, just be polite. You don't have to say anything. Yeah, you don't have to be vocal about how much you don't like something. You can just be polite. And I was shamed in Rome. That's an example. Like, I forget, I ordered something and man, the waiter laid into me. Like, how rude. Because I didn't like a vegetable that they served. I didn't know what it was when I ordered it. And so I had it on my plate, and it was a texture thing, and I was just like, And I wasn't trying to be rude, but I just kind of pushed it aside, and when they saw that, they were like, oh. And the whole meal, he would come out and ignore me and talk to Sarah, and he was just like, and it was like this shut. It was kind of funny, but it wasn't. He was just like, and I was just like I honestly couldn't choke it down, so I was just like, I mean, I kind of just had to suck it up, but it was rude, and I just didn't know what I had ordered, and I was like, oh. But yeah, so you're gonna get some of that, and you know, try to be polite. And I apologize profusely, and I was just, yeah, I mean, I tried to be as respectful as I could, but sometimes it didn't happen. So we all will come across it. Nobody's perfect. It's just how it works. So that one is going to be a really important point, and that's going to be in here. Another big thing is the differences between class expectations in the U.S. and Europe. They do not, it's not a laptop culture, phones aren't out, no food in the classroom, so that's going to be one of these things is like food in the classroom is not acceptable in Spain. So we sit throughout the U.S. and just snack all day in class, we're starving, grab our snacks out of our bag. That really is not the culture there. And side chatter, they absolutely no. So that one is a big thing.
I think I want to really emphasize
Yeah.
the side chatter. I know you all are great in this class, but I actually teach another class, and it's like I will say, no side chatter, please, no side chatter. And I will look and I will say it. And the minute I try to do something else, it's happening. And I'm just like, what did I just say? I said no side chatter. And so literally, I think that's going to be one of probably the biggest things, because culturally in other countries, education is taken to another level. And it's unfortunate to be able to have to say that about our own country, but we have all these systems in place where it's just like, well, if I don't like you, I'm going to report you to this person. Over there's no reporting. It's them or the highway. And so I just really want to emphasize that again, is that you need to be respectful to your teachers when you're there, and just know that when they start speaking, it's like, boom.
And showing up on time is a big thing there too. We had that in Rome, and actually the students in the cohort were the ones that were interrupted the most. And they came up and talked to us as advisors, and we talked to the professor and said, you don't have to